Nick, you had a couple of goals ruled out. You got the goal, and then you must be thrilled with the result there this evening.
Yeah, in the end, we obviously are thrilled with it. The funny games as well, them games where you sort of seem to dominate quite a lot of the ball, and you get a couple ruled out offside, and could have had a penalty potentially. And then to stay in the game and keep that concentration, that focus, and go and get the win. Obviously, I've seen games and been involved in games before where you can get the sucker punch, and credit to the lads, they stuck at it. It's a great finish from Jay, fitting to win any game if I'm honest. But I'm delighted as well for the clean sheet and also to get the goal.
Can I ask you about the clean sheet? I know you've spent a lot of time focused on the attacking intent that you've been involved in the club, but it's your first clean sheet. That must be something you've really focused on and be really proud of.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because we've actually focused, even on the attack, we've focused a lot on the defensive platform to start attacks from. And obviously, it's probably a brave system that we've played today. We played it last time we played at home, and there's definitely pros and cons for it. But we believe in the lads. We've got like 6 Australian under-23s playing there today, and that's credit to them. The young players, and they're learning. They're taking everything on board that we're doing, but it takes a little bit of time. I said it before, but you can see them improving, and they're learning every week, learning every day, and that's the main thing for us.
Some good performances on the road the last couple of weeks, but didn't quite get the results. Yeah. Today feel like a bit of a reward for effort over the last 3 weeks. You've got the result today. Definitely.
Like I was frustrated with the Macau. We didn't particularly start very well in the game, and found ourselves 2-0 down. And credit to the lads again to fight back in that game. And I just thought we were deserving of at least a point, and we were going for the win. And then obviously that red card just changes things, and we get a sucker punch at the end. And that's football, and that's what it's like. But and again last week at Melbourne City, I know we've cut some flack on the outside of the club for doing what we did. But we're not going to go. Let's be honest, we're not going to go there and have 70%, 80% of the ball at this moment in time. And just for a lack of concentration on that set play, that gets them the win. And I thought we were deserving of how hard we worked off the ball, against the ball, and that is a massive part of the game. We were deserving of a point there. But look, two wins from 2 at home I'm delighted with that.
And just finally from me, it's an international break coming up now. How are you going to look to use that over the next couple of weeks to try and further implement your style on side? You've got a couple of young boys going away, so how are you going to look to use this time?
Yeah, we've got a couple of boys going away, which is fantastic for the boys and fantastic for the club. We're going to use this time to just embed a few of the messages that we're trying to do as well, but also give the lads a mental breather. Look, it's been a little bit of a grueler for them, what's been happening this season, and they get battered from pillar to post. So we're going to do some internal games as well, which is going to be fantastic for me to see some of the younger players through. And like I said it from day one as well, if the lads are good enough and we believe in them, they'll get an opportunity, and that's the way we want to be.
Your last 3 games, goals have been scored in the last sort of 15 minutes or so of the game. Is that, I guess a mark towards the fitness and the concentration of the boys not to give up and to really sort of push even to the last minutes?
It could be a number of things. It could be a tactical element, but it could also be physical as well. And with that physical, obviously, the more conditioned you become, that belief steps in. So there's a psychological element as well. Psychological 2 and 4. If you're conceding goals late on in games, I've been told that the 60 to 75 mark's a bit of a hoodoo for the club and all this sort of stuff. But we want to eradicate all that. And with conditioning, with the intensity that the lads are training at, with the information we're trying to drip feed into them, and again, it just takes time, but people just need to be patient, and you can see that we're trying to be aggressive. Look, take the Melbourne City game out, the 3 games that we've had, we're trying to be on the front foot, we're trying to be aggressive, we want to be attacking, we want to hurt teams, but of course we want to shut the door as well, we don't want to concede goals, but finding that balance is, that's the elusive thing in football. It's not an easy thing to do, and scoring goals in football is the hardest thing as well.
Of the 4 games in your tenure so far, including the 2 sort of road losses where you're in the game right to the end, do you feel as though that if you got results out of those games, that the club is right in the conversation as far as finals football?
Yeah, potentially, yeah. Do you know, like I said it a few weeks ago, that the league table's the league table, and it doesn't really matter until the end of the season. Look, we're still fighting, and we're fighting for performances, and we're obviously fighting for points, but we're fighting for that improvement, which will lead to improved performances and lead to a more sort of stable opportunity for us to get more wins on the board as well. And again, it's coming. We'll have ups, we'll have downs. I've said it before, but we just need to remain stable in terms of what we're doing and how we're working together as a group.
Obviously, only that one change, and there was a forced change with Scott Neville coming out. You talked about the stability. Is that starting to come through as far as that you've got your stable starting lineup, and obviously then your substitutes tactically come on and change the course of the game?
Oh, potentially, yeah. And I think that first game that I had, and I said when I was in this room, we had lads dying on the floor, 65th minute, and it is what we want, but it isn't as well, because the lads need to be conditioned to play 95, 98 minutes with the football, and we're slowly getting there. It's not an easy thing to do 3/4 of the way through a season, but we're striving for that all the time, and like I say, it just takes that little bit of time for us.
And final question from me, it's probably a question you've been asked over and over about Jez Lofthouse.
Yeah.
Obviously, his progression in the last sort of month has been sort of astonishing. Do you feel as though that he is starting to mature as a A-League footballer?
Yeah, and why not? Listen, I know the quality he gave when he played in the NPL under Ben Khan, and Ben Khan done unbelievable things for Jezzy. I've seen Jezzy, I believe in Jezzy, and he played a slightly different role for us today. We was trying to get a little bit more out of him in that sort of central area, and I felt to an extent, on another day he could have had a couple of goals today, and I thought with the first one that got ruled out offside, he's got to be putting them away, and he has got the quality to do that as well. But again, you're never going to know if you don't give that opportunity. But we're just trying to instill that belief in him. And look, and he's a local boy. He's a lovely lad, and he's got that opportunity under me. Players will not play for me if they don't deserve that opportunity, and he does. And he's one of them boys that we should be embracing, really.